Hi, I'm HenryG from Epsilon. I'm here from the UK. I'm here in Seattle for Counter-Strike Go. The first impression of the game is it's very fun, but it also needs a lot of work at the moment. There's still a lot of weapon balancing that needs to be done. It turns out the P90 and the submachine guns have been balanced to be on par with the AK and the M4 and stuff like that. And it feels like they've tried to bring all the weapons into the game instead of before we used to. And it kind of needs addressing, we think, for competitive play at least. They've tried to turn Counter-Strike into this 5v5 matchmaking game, which to bring everything everything in Counter-Strike on level basically. And it doesn't really work just yet, but the idea is really good. The matchmaking in CS has been needed for a while, so all the games coming out at the moment all have this ladders and stats and stuff, and Counter-Strike's never had that. So this 5v5 idea is really cool. I've always thought it suits CS really well. If the new maps have brought into the game as well, the maps we're used to, the source maps are heavily modified. So they've tried to take ideas from 1.6 maps and add them into these source maps, and some of it needs addressing. Like Inferno, for example, is kind of shrunk and like had bits taken away from it, and there's things like that they kind of need to ask the players first before they do it. So I think that's why they've brought us here to kind of address these issues and see what we think of it before it goes out to release. The beta comes out in October, which we will all be in, so hopefully we'll have more of our input into then. Yeah, it's looking good so far.
What elements of it do you think are similar to 1.6? What elements do you think it's like Source? Do you think it's really, or is it nothing like either of the two?
The game mechanics itself, I'd say are more like Source, but they've taken like wall banging, for example, from 1.6, they've added that in, and tagging, when you get shot you slow down, that's been brought in from 1.6. The shooting, I'd say, it's kind of like, it's not really anything like either game, it's kind of its own. Like they've tried, they addressed, after the first day of play, they changed it a bit to what we said, but it still doesn't feel like either game, it feels like it's on a level of its own. To do a Source, I don't know, the movement kind of still feels like Source, like the way the models run and stuff, the way the models crouch, it all still feels like Source. There's no like 1.6 fast crouch or anything like that. It's all, so yeah, it's kind of a mixture of the two. It's hard to say which one it's more like.
What elements of the game most excite you about?
I think the matchmaking, like I said before, that's going to be really cool. That's like going to bring like a lot of attention from esports competitions and stuff like that. Like the fact it's got this whole back-end system already in place. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a big like hit. I think the fact it's kind of aimed at a console market as well, though, could be its undoing, because people are kind of a bit wary when it comes to PC games that have been brought onto a console as well, especially something that's like that has so much pedigree as Counter-Strike is being taken onto a console. They tried it before with the original Counter-Strike and it was awful. So that's why we're kind of a bit sceptical when they said that was what they're going to do with this one. But I think the fact they brought us out here is really good. They've taken our criticisms constructively, hopefully, and yeah.
They made a lot of changes from the first day to the second based on the feedback that yourself and the rest of the group gave them. Did it feel like it was a console port the second day, or did it feel just like different from Source? How would you categorize that?
Well, the second day it felt 20 times better. Although I'd still say it's still about half the game as either 1.6 or Source is. It's got a lot of work to do, but the fact that they can turn around what it was in the first day to what it was in the second is amazing. So it shows like how committed they are to like getting this game to like a competitive level. So yeah, I think it definitely can be done. It can be built up to a good standard.
Any closing remarks, closing thoughts?
I don't think Source 1.6 is going to be going anywhere soon, even when it comes out, but I think it definitely has the potential. After a while, I think CSGO could be one to look out for.
Thank you.